just more easygoing.
More easygoing, more like okay. So like the details. A lot of our projects would entail that actually we would assign key users within the organization, and the key users, they would actually work together with a consultant and a key user, and then we would kind of figure out as we are going how we are going to map their processes in the software. So it's not, everything is not already specified. This is part of the project, part of the implementation. So we have not made a very clear specification. Okay, this and this and this and this is what we're going to do. But basically, we put in our proposal that we define this and these parts of the software will be implemented. We will assign a key user and we will assign a consultant, and then based on that we will make a proposal to the steering committee, etc., etc.
How about French?
I am not 100% sure about French. I don't know actually. I've never worked with French in a software development.
Oh, really?
But I really can tell the difference between Germans and Dutch people. It's very clear, even though we're neighbors, but it's very clear. Belgians are also a little bit different from the Dutch. Belgians are closer to Germans than to Dutch people, I believe. They're a bit arrogant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a bit arrogant. You wouldn't say so, but they're a bit arrogant.
Oh. But German people are so arrogant.
Yeah.
Right? So arrogant. They just disregard for Japanese. Right?
So, but basically for anyone, it's not only Japanese.
Anyone,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, they feel that they have superior engineering skills and superior. They do everything tanto, and they have a different work style. They have a different approach from the Dutch. They are very majime. Yeah, I worked there for a while. I can definitely say that there are more risk involved in a Dutch project than there are in a German project.
You said risk involvement?
Yeah, risk in terms of a German approach, a German contract.
They're going taking risk with me?
They're taking less risks.
Less risk.
Less risks. Yeah, they're taking less risk. They prepare much better than Dutch people.
I see.
But on the other hand, basically, it's a bit of a wrestle. A Dutch project. It's a bit of a wrestle because a lot of things still need to be decided during the project, and a lot of things can actually happen. So, for example, there's data migration going on. So the only thing that is specified is we need to migrate data at least a certain percentage from system A to system B, and then we could figure out that actually the data quality is very poor. So there will be a whole discussion during the project with the project team and the client. So you put in the contract that you're going to migrate the data. Now instead of the promised 80%, you only can deliver 60%. What's up? You're not in compliance with our contract. Yeah, but your data sucks. So we're not gonna put, like, if you're gonna put in garbage in, you get garbage out. So basically you pollute your data. So it's in your best interest that we are not inputting it. These kinds of discussions happen all the time.
But this kind of discussion is always you talking about cost of change.
Yeah.
And negotiate with client.
Yes.
But in Japanese case is very difficult to negotiation
Right.
for the
Customer just says, okay, you promised 80% data conversion, so you're going to give 80%. And what might happen is that actually the Japanese vendor will actually need to actually clean up the data before they're going to migrate it. So that we would not do that.
You just negotiation with price and cost.
Yeah.
Right. And implementation.
Yes.
Okay, going back to your explanation, I'm not clear understanding for Japanese and different from the rest of the world in Europe.
So from what I have seen, I feel that Japanese
Just
people,
you image. You stay in Japan many years, so
yes.
the aspect of European people, what is a major obstacle or some major annoyance issues against Japanese?
Okay, so basically they don't negotiate.
They don't negotiate.
Right.
What do you mean don't negotiate?
They don't negotiate. They
You mean
basically
no allowance?
they basically just tell you what they have decided. So they actually just give you what they want to deliver to you. They don't listen to you. They are not willing to create exceptions or to give something, take something. A good negotiation, a European negotiation, a good negotiation will create more value for both sides, because you're going to together you're going on a discovery to say, okay, what can I give to you in exchange for something that I want from you, so that we can both get a better deal. So basically what we are trying to do as negotiators, we're trying to increase the value for both sides in a give and take. That requires delegation of power, that requires flexibility, that requires that you really understand what the other side wants. Now, I don't feel that Japanese people are very good at really understanding what the other side wants, especially when they are foreigners. Maybe within Japan they can kind of read the air and feel that, okay, this is important to the customer, but they are much more obsessed with pushing their own agenda than listening to what the other side wants.
Takashi always saying that in Vietnam, Japanese company, they try to consider what kind of proposal they deliver to the customer in Vietnam instead of listening counterpart people.
Yeah.
I understand what you said. And Japanese is especially for foreign company. Among Japanese people, I think they can do better communication with each other. But overseas, just try to transfer technology something, and Japanese are very stubborn to sticking to their own technology. I understand. Foreigners, not for Japanese and Japanese.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I understand what you mean. They don't want to change the level of quality.
Right. So they just have this product, they have this service, and that's what they're selling. It's good, but they are not really focused on getting to know what drives the other side, how they could actually provide something that would be of more value. They just follow what they have.
What is the basics for their thought? Because Japanese are very poor communicate with.
I think they're constantly looking over their shoulder, to because they are more obsessed with what their superior thinks than what their customer thinks, and I believe that this is different in Europe.
Japanese are not so much familiar with European value or European level of technology or their concerns, and also Japanese people believe they are best.
Right. Right. So that they're selling and basically what happens, European salespeople they are strong not only towards their customers but also towards their own organization. They say, okay, so no, we need to do this for this customer. This is important for us as a company. So we need to change this, or we need to make a product like this, or we need to provide a service like that. This is crucial. So a good salesman is not just selling whatever product they have. They listen to the customer. They say, okay, well, we can give this to this customer. We can be a winner. We can make a contract. We can get a good customer. That means that he goes back to his own organization and he's going to raise hell until the organization is actually providing something that will persuade this customer.
It means the European people, they are more skillful for better communication.
They negotiate with the customer, but also with their own organization. They are trying to manage, they're trying to influence, they're trying to push and shove until they get things done.
So it means they are among the customer and within the company, they are more better communication each other.
Right. They're trying to not only be in compliance, they're really trying to push and shake the organization until they get their way. They can make the sale. They can make the customer happy, and they can make their organization.
Japanese people, among Japanese, I think very good communication each other. But as soon as they're going outside, they cannot communicate with overseas people.
Do Japanese salespeople, do Japanese negotiators, do they force their own organization to change, to make a different kind of product, to adjust their service to fit, for example, the Vietnamese client, or even a new market segment in Japan? Do they do that, or basically do they just try to push whatever this company thought was a good idea without listening to the customer and just try to sell as much as they can, but not trying to force the organization to change?
Try not to force.
So a good salesman in Europe tries to change the organization.
Change the organization?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that basically, if I find that a big, I don't know, let's say that we make, I meet with a big insurance company, and we are offering this product, but actually, when I listen to them, they have a different problem. So they are not that interested in this product that I'm trying to sell, but they have a different product that they would like. So I would go back to my organization and say, listen guys, we cannot sell this to them, but if we change this and we do this and we do that, then we have a perfect product. If we can pitch this, I suggest we just make this, and then will be a big strife internally. But as a salesperson, this is part of your job. You need to manage your client as well as your own organization to basically bring them together. So you're not just going to sell your product and be very much and just try to push it into your.
What do you mean organization change?
Adjust your own organization to deliver what the customer needs. So if the customer needs a different kind of product that you do not make yet, you're going to make sure that your company starts to make that product, because it's vital to actually create sales. That's your responsibility. You have your targets. You need to make your sales numbers. So if you see a good sales opportunity that your company cannot yet fulfill, then it's your task as a salesperson to try to change your organization.
What do you mean change your organization?
Change your organization. So let them make a different kind of product or a different kind of service.
Oh, okay. Changing the process.
Changing a process, creating new products, doing something else to make sure that you can to actually develop your sales.
So, okay, my question is, what is my background in my thought, okay, is how Japanese negotiation skill, what kind of skill should be improved, or what kind of way or approach or to negotiate with Westerners, what kind of improvement Japanese should have.
Okay, so I think very simple. Stop driving your own agenda and first try to discover what the other side wants, who they are, and what they need before you're going to push your own product.
I understand that kind of point, but how to solve it? Japanese people never listen to counterpart.
So that's what they need to solve. That's what they need to solve. They need to listen and actually be prepared to negotiate. If you're not negotiating, then people don't want to waste time with you. They never
do that, right?
Right.
But this, I understand what you mean, but how they're going to improve that kind of,
I know, seriously, if you want to be a counterpart for European companies, you better listen to them and try to be creative and adjust and build up a relationship. So listen to them, give something, try to get something in return, make concessions when necessary on price, and establish develop a personal relationship.
Okay, I should tell you, my question is, how come they have nothing improved past 50 years?
Well, I
understand what you mean, but many Japanese understand. But why they cannot attain the kind of gap past 50 years? Why Japanese deliver their own selfish approach to the overseas company? How come they cannot change it?
Because they're completely not used to this.
Huh?
They're completely not used to this. This is there are difficulties on so many different levels. We have the language problem. We have the fact that we do not think linear active. Then we have and as a result of that, we have the problem that we cannot debate, which makes it very difficult to negotiate. Then we have difficulty with delegation. So we have a vertical organization and on top of that, people are not rewarded for taking risks. They are being penalized for taking risks. So there are problems on so many different levels that there's not just a simple fix. It is a very long list of fixes that we need to work on.
Oh, is it impossible to improve it?
Well, I mean, maybe we should send about 100,000 Japanese students to study in the United States and Europe.
Are they? Not many.
No, they're not many.
Not 100,000.
No, they're not many. There are fewer and fewer every year.
Chinese is 500,000 now.
Fewer and fewer every year.
Yeah.
So that's completely the different direction. This is a big problem.
Yeah, this is this course is concerned. Why I am asking you to study negotiation skill. But this is basically I'm orienting for Japanese company, Japanese people to reconsider the negotiation skill. It means they will communicate with Asian people, European people, American people. What is our problem in the past half century? I believe there's nothing changed. But I told you, like a Sony corporate subsidiary in Singapore, this company is doing very well. This might be exception, and they just accept responsibility. But many cases they don't want to accept responsibility overseas subsidiary. This causes a problem. But more than that.
But how come? So basically, They don't want to accept responsibility. So one reason why so I'm just trying to guess why would they not want to take responsibility? What benefit would they have from accepting responsibility?
Yeah, exactly. He don't have any benefit. Okay, he's staying in the subsidiary president in some Asian Pacific country, and he just stay there next 3 to 5 years. He don't take risk.
Right.
Okay.
Don't rock the boat.
Yeah. So he's avoid risk. So he's just any kind of critical issue or some big discount. He need to throw the ball to headquarters. This is it.